What was the genesis for KeepAmerica.com?
Well, originally the inspiration was hearing about all these recalls from China with lead paint and collapsing cribs, all kinds of crazy things. And I have 3 children at home, and the motivation then began to come from outsourcing of jobs and this poisonous cycle of just borrowing from China and then buying Chinese-made goods and paying back all the interest and the loans to China is just a disaster. We have to stop immediately.
How can the United States keep jobs and intellectual capital here in a time when other nations are looking to lure away our resources?
We really need to buy American-made products. That's what we're all about. And we've now decided to really turn our focus to inspiring the younger generation, the college students, to help us bring back jobs here and really create a job for their own future is a new initiative we're starting by buying American-made goods.
And I'm going to talk about initiative in just a moment. The global community, as you well know, has become increasingly more interconnected. How does KeepAmerica.com acknowledge that while at the same time reinforcing the message that the road to a sustainable economic recovery involves the manufacture and the sale of American-made goods?
Well, recently there was a new report out that companies that are focused on selling in this country have an 18% increase of revenue, where countries that focus on making things overseas and exporting actually have decreased as public companies. So I mean, the proof's in the pudding. When you create jobs here, manufacture here, and keep it in this country, obviously it's a global economy like you said, but we have to take care of our shores and our economy first.
You talked about outsourcing. How many American companies now outsource goods and production?
Too many. I mean, just millions and millions, and over the last decade, we've lost tens of millions of jobs. The time is now to really turn this around and bring this back.
Why are they outsourcing? Why are they doing this?
Originally we thought it was a good idea, when I say we, I mean companies, to get cheaper labor, but obviously status quo isn't working. If it was working, the economy would be doing well, but over the last 10 years, we've seen decline, and it's apparent that it's just not working.
Well, what about a law of comparative advantage, if we can get a little bit technical and economical here? If there are cheaper goods to be purchased elsewhere, does that then translate into more savings for Americans because they're not paying as much here for goods?
In the short term, it does. You have to also worry about quality, you have to worry about safety, and again, in the short term, you can focus on inexpensive products that won't last as long as American-made, high-quality goods.
As you know, not everyone agrees that Buy America is necessarily the way to go. Some of the critics are saying that divisions of labor, especially in these economic times, are international as opposed to just being domestic in nature. How do you respond to that? Divisions of labor being good if we can parse that up amongst countries as opposed to just have it singularly here.
If it was working, then we'd have no issues. But again, we see what's happened to the economy, we see the recession, and I truly believe that outsourcing all of the jobs, I mean, we have 20 million people in college right now, and recent graduates, over half of them don't have jobs, and the ones that do are not even using the tools they've learned in school for their current positions.
And that's an initiative that you have started. It's called Create a Job for Your Future. You're giving college students an opportunity to earn money and potentially gain employment at Keep America's headquarters. Is this basically an offshot of what you're seeing? Because we just talked about those unemployment numbers a moment ago, but the unemployment numbers for young people are staggering.
They are, and they're faced with insane student loans. As of the end of the first quarter of this year, there is an outstanding balance of $986 billion in student loans among our youth. And we need to stop that immediately. We want to get them involved in bringing back the jobs here, and they can earn commissions by joining our program and create a job, as you said, for their future.
Global competition, do you view that as a threat, or is it a healthy way for nations to try to find common ground?
Listen, any competition is healthy, but I know that we as a country...
But as you said, because your belief is that American-made products are the best in the world, and therefore they can stack up against anyone else's product. So given that advantage in competition, is that competition healthy?
It is, but I have full confidence in our nation that we can manufacture, as we once did, the top-notch quality goods that this country's produced for generations and generations, and bringing it back here is the way to turn things around.
If more people want some information, the website and maybe a number if you have it?
KeepAmerica.com, and for the college initiative, they can email us at allamerican@keepamerican.com.